Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back to the Hebrew Chosen Elect uh, Sabbath class. Shabbat Shalom. Here at Wilmington, Delaware. I'm going to start by giving all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh, B'Shem Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Hope everybody's families and self is doing well. Blessed in the spirit and keeping the commandments. This week we'll be picking back up in Numbers chapter 5, verse 9. We read 1 through 8 last week, breaking down the putting away the lepers and how sinning against your brethren was a sin against the Most High, himself. So we stopped it at verse 8 last week because we kind of went in depth with that. So once again, this week we're picking back up in chapter 5, verse 9. But before we do so, we always go through a couple announcements. Which our first announcement will be our upcoming high holy days and new moons. We're looking at we're coming into the 11th month, so the 11th new moon, which will be January the 20th at sundown, followed by February 18th, and then March 20th, taking us into the first month, which will bring us into Passover. So high holy days, Purim, and then Passover. So we'll be keeping the Feast of Purim March the 3rd at sundown, and March the 4th, Purim being a 2-day feast. So it'll be March 3rd, starts March 3rd at sundown, and then also be March 4th at sundown, ending March the 5th at sundown. That's the Feast of Purim. Passover will be keeping April the 3rd at sundown. April 3rd at sundown. We'll get exact location and times for our gathering and our feast later on, but mark this date on your calendars, April 3rd, sundown. If you'd like to get in contact with me or Yakanan, you can do so through Facebook or phone or text. You can contact me at We Are Israel, Gamar Yashala, or 302-510-7147, or you can contact Brother Yakanan on Facebook at Brandon Daniels, Yakanan Maccabee Yashala, or through phone or text at 508-840-7710. Also, please like, share, subscribe to our Facebook channels, ACE Red Pill Reality and ACE Reloaded. And that's it for announcements. So with that, we'll get straight into it. Back in the book of Numbers, chapter 5, and picking up at verse 9. You can go ahead and read that whenever you're ready. Everybody should already be there. Numbers chapter 5, verse 9.
The book of Numbers, chapter 5, verse 9. And every offering of all the holy things of the children of Israel, which they bring unto the priest, shall be his. And every man's hollow things shall be his. Whatsoever any man giveth for the priest, it shall be his.
So, the priest, the sons of Aaron, the Levites, they didn't get an inheritance land-wise. What they got was the priesthood, and then they was to be taken care of by us. And if you think about it, now we're a nation of priests, but we see in Ezekiel that priesthood with the Levites will still be reestablished. They'll be serving in the temple, but guess what? We'll be priests throughout the whole earth. So you think about it, the same way we brought our hallowed things, our first fruits, everything to the priest, and that's how the priest was sustained. What's the nation's going to be doing? What's the nation's going to be doing to this kingdom of priests, kings and priests? Same thing, exactly. Right. They're going to be bringing the what did it say? The forces of the Gentiles, tributaries. They'll be sustaining us. Israel be sustained by all the nations that aren't, slaughtered and cast off, put to death. They'll be bringing the holy things to the children of Israel, right? And what verse is that? That's in Isaiah chapter 60. Just get it real quick. All the talk of simultaneous salvation and Gentiles in the kingdom and equality. It's not equality. It was never equality. It wasn't even. It's not even equality within the nation of Israel. If you really look at it and think about it logically, the priests, the Levites in Israel were sustained by the nation of Israel. So in the kingdom, the Israel being sustained by the nations, where's the equality in that?
It's not equality.
It's not equality.
It's equity.
Right. So, and it's really the same thing as it was meant to be from the beginning. Right. Even as far as Adam, the Garden of Eden, that was his kingdom. And Adam was ruler, had dominion over the world at the time. Then that seed went down and it became who? Israel. You got that?
Yeah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 10 through 12. And the sons of the stranger shall build up thy walls, and their king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be slackened. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
What verse was that? 60 and 15?
60, 10 to 12.
10 to 12. So, this is the kingdom, is it not? This is the kingdom. And it says that whatever nation will not serve Israel will be put to death. So how is that the same status as Israel in the kingdom? It just, or maybe this is wrong. Maybe this is for an appointed time. But where's the scriptures that say that the Moabites will come and have their own gate, and then the nations underneath the Moabites will bring tributary and the Edomites and the Ishmaelites? Nah, these are the nations that will be bringing tributaries to the nation of Israel. And
the Moabites and Amorites are restricted even coming to the kingdom. They can never see the kingdom.
Huh? Salaki.
So the Moabites and Amorites are restricted for Canaanites.
That's what it says in the Torah.
Yeah.
But that would mean they bring their tributaries to a certain, they wouldn't be able to come in past a certain spot. Right?
Right.
But First Peter chapter 1 verse 1 Peter chapter 2, Salaki, verse 9. Somebody read that.
First Peter 2,
Stay with you.
2 and 9.
Sir.
But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, and ye shall show forth the praises of him that has called you out of darkness into the marvelous light.
So, and who's this talking about? This is talking about just the Levites? No, this is talking about talking to the whole nation of Israel, all 12 tribes. So the 12 tribes are a royal priesthood. So the same way that we would bring the holy things to the priests within the nation of Israel, we see in prophecy that will be the Gentiles' place in the kingdom. They'll be bringing their holy things to Israel. They'll be everything we read in Isaiah chapter 60. So that's like Yakinan said, that's not equality, that's equity in the kingdom. So yeah, it'll be other nations in the kingdom, but they'll be serving Israel. That doesn't sound like in the covenant. The covenant provides what? That dominion. That's what the covenant is. The covenant gives Israel dominion, right? So, like Gentiles that believe Christ and want to keep the laws, that's what they're supposed to do. But that doesn't put them in the covenant.
Unless you want to play on words and say the covenant says they will do this, so they're part of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how so?
Trickery with it.
Yeah,
clever
gotta use
wordplay.
trickery,
Yeah,
but I'm saying,
that's what I'm saying.
can you
Like,
give me an example?
Because that's our covenant that they would do that, and they're the ones that's going to do it. In our covenant, they're part of that.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, so yeah, they're hewers of wood and drawers of water, so they're in the covenant. Well, then if that's then kind, and that's it. Let's magnify that then. So they're in the covenant as what? Being servants. Right, that's the covenant. And the covenant is stated that when you break this covenant, those strangers, we've been over it before, those strangers will be over you. So that means the covenant is for Israel, and there's order and hierarchy. And in that covenant, yeah, you can come into the covenant if you're going to be in your place in the covenant, which is Isaiah 14 and 1 to 3. You cleave to Israel. Cleave is a word that's not by force. When you cleave to something, that's you cleaving.
Yep.
That's you voluntarily saying, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of you. Right? So yeah, it's gonna be that would be believers, wouldn't it? Obviously, that's believers. So the believers amongst the Gentiles that would come and serve Israel. So it'd be the same way the same way that within our nation we sustained the priests. Well, we're a nation of priests, a royal priesthood, and the nations of the earth will be sustaining Israel, right?
Mm-hmm. In Isaiah 60, we just read they build the wall. That's during the 1,000-year reign, and Isaiah 14 is after the reign, right?
I can't even speak to that one.
Because
I honestly don't
have an
answer for
building
that.
up the walls. That means they're actually rebuilding and restructuring the earth for us. And when you go to 14, it seems like that in that passage it seems like everything's already built, and now they're just serving us.
Right. I mean,
that's after the 1,000 years when they would like to go to their own land.
I'd have to look at that. I can't give you I can't give you a solid answer just off top with that one.
Okay.
I'm
just going by what in 1610 they're building the kingdom for us.
Yeah, that's the point that I want to look at more. Stress is the fact that that's who's building it up.
Yeah,
that's the place of the Gentiles, and the same way within Israel, we sustain the priests. That's the kingdom. We're a nation of priests, and that's the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah, from the beginning. It
was supposed to be that we was all righteous. We brought our goods to the priests, right? And we ate off of the nations. That was leaving Egypt. That's what it was supposed to be, coming into the promised land. Right. We went off. We walked away from that. Because that, like we always bring out Deuteronomy 28, 15 down, 1 to 14 was pretty much what we read we did to the priests and what the nation's going to do for us in the kingdom. We was blessed above all nations. Ain't nothing but blessings from 1 to 15.
Yeah.
That's what it was meant to be. That came with obedience, though. So we left off from that. But yeah, so we'll tackle that another day. I mean, regardless, that 1,000-year reign is a reign. That's rulership.
Yeah.
And then after that 1,000-year reign, it's not like everybody's equal. It's still rulership. That's why, I can't really.
Yeah. No, I'm not disregarding rulership part. I'm talking about after the 1,000-year reign. I'm just going by the scripture here. One was saying building up everything, and then the other one is cleaving to us. So there's no more building there, but they're still cleaving to us because we're still over them because we're possessed. We already possessed them.
Right, kind. But yeah, we'll leave that one for another day. Definitely. But we can go back. So verse 11.
Verse 11. Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept closed, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the manner, and the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled, or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled.
So we had a law with this spirit of what is called the spirit of jealousy, but even back then, coming out of Egypt, we had the same problem within the nation we have today. There was women that would go off. So the same way today, it's rampant today. It's probably like around the 95 percentile. You got nothing but Jezebels and Cardi B's, and they're in your home and huh?
95.
Not 95? Am I stretching it?
No,
it seems like it's high these days. It continues to get high. I don't know, like 80. How about 80%? Nah, it's at least 80%.
No.
80% of women don't want to be sloppy. Go ahead.
King Solomon said around, what he said, 1,000 men, he found one righteous man, and he said he ain't find not one righteous woman. So that comes from King Solomon and him being the wisest person ever walked the earth. I'm gonna say it's about 95, bro.
Yeah, because you think about it, the ones that seem like they be righteous, faithful women, you would look at the church, right? That's in the world where you're gonna look at to find like godly women that are loyal to their men, right? That are obedient to their men. Modest women. You would think church women, right? But what do you see today? Like you see women in what's transparent dresses.
Yeah,
Jamal
Bryan.
What was that? Yeah. What's that, Pastor Jamal Bryan?
Jamal Bryan.
His wife
wore a flesh-colored
dress. Wore a flesh-colored dress. It looked like it was see-through, but yeah, it was definitely flesh-colored. But what's that give off? Whether it's actually see-through or not, it matches the flesh. It looks real whorish. But he might have allowed her to do it, but did he really? Like, why did he allow her to do it?
He bought it. He did a whole sermon on it.
Right, but I'm saying, but did he really allow it?
He said he did.
Yeah, like, follow me. I'm saying he did, but he did it because he's emasculated. Is that the word? Emasculated? He's emasculated. He's doing things that he knows if he doesn't allow her to do, it'll be a problem. So that's why I say he allowed her to do it, but did he really? Or did he know, yeah, happy wife, happy life? There's a reason for happy wife, happy life. Because if wife ain't happy, wife gonna step out. So that's why I say it's definitely more 50%, because even the ones that seem to be like those faithful women, modest women, the church women, the godly women, now they're becoming whorish just like the women of the world. Right?
In his sermon, in a nutshell, he said, if your woman don't dress that, go find a woman that do. In a nutshell, that's exactly that's what he said. Go back and watch. I was like, man, what he said. I sit there and watched it. I was like, man, he just said that, man.
And that's like brainwashing. That's just
it is. And then you got all the women in the congregation sitting there. Yay, that's right, Pastor. Yeah.
And how did we get to this? How did we get to that? We got to that through what happened?
That is him.
What happened?
That is him. They said he was telling people to sell bud.
Yeah. He was trying to open up his own
dispensary.
Church.
It's the same church Eddie Long came from.
But now, okay. But all of it's off, right? All of it's off, and the church really is ran by women, and the women are wicked as hell now, just like the men, right? So nowadays, though, you don't really have a law if your woman can leave the house when she wants, and she comes back home. Where you been at? Why you ain't been home all night? I can do what I want. You ain't my daddy.
Sure.
I was with friends. Yeah, but okay, well, all right, I forgive you. Can I get a little bit? No, I don't feel like it. Why you don't feel like it?
Because she was on that girl's trip.
Because she was on that girl's trip. And because she already got satisfied. I ain't been doing nothing. Now you like, you ain't been doing nothing. You've been out all night. You won't give me a little bit of nothing. And what can you do? Nothing. You can't do nothing today. You could put her out if you want.
He's only what, third, fourth wife now?
Is he?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Wow. I did not know that.
But you can't do nothing.
He's first cousin to Gino.
Is he?
Yes.
What y'all talking about?
Wow.
I'm confused.
Jamal Brown.
Oh. All right, so but the law, there's no law today. Well, it is a law, but this world doesn't go by the laws of God. So we had a law like this was even happening back then. You had an out. You had something to settle the problem. Your wife, you feel like she's been going off, there's something you can do about it. As opposed to today, the woman has basically the rulership of the home. I can do without you. I can go to the state. They can take care of me. So I'm going to do what I want. My mama did what she want, and she told me don't let no man tell you what you can do.
Wait a minute. So, didn't you already see them signs before he married her? Or what?
But that's the thing. Nobody's viewing it that way. The signs don't matter because what matters today is how good she looks. Look at her body. Look at her face. She's a 15 out of a 10.
But you don't see the peace coming out of that.
No peace coming out of it. But it's because today we're ruled by what? Our lust. So the women know that, okay, the man, he's ruled by his lust. So I'm going to do me. And at the end of the day, if he wants to act up and he don't want to allow it, I'll take away what he really wants. And that's everything that's underneath for this shoestring dress. And he can't do without that. He can't do without it. So, but in the law back then, we had an answer to the problem. So this is the law that we had when a man has this thought that, oh, my rib, she's out, she's I think that she's been fooling with somebody else. We had an answer. And also, what we find is the law says if a man get a spirit of jealousy and he be jealous of his wife, we don't find the law where it says if that wife be jealous of her husband. Showing what? That's not the woman's place. Right? The Most High said all the way in Genesis, he shall rule over you, and your desires shall be towards him. Right? Because it be sisters in truth that's like, oh, I don't polygyny's good for you, but not for me. Or I left my last husband because he cheated on me.
Huh.
How do you cheat on you? was with another woman. Well, where's that at? I mean, you're a believer of the word. You're a believer of the Torah. Where's that at? But yeah, so the spirit of jealousy came on the man. We don't find that for the woman. That's just what it is. So where we leave off? This
Verse
is
14.
the law. What we could do if we had that spirit of jealousy come over us, suspecting our women. Go ahead.
The spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled, or the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled. Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of the ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it.
Oh, wait. So he would bring her to the priest, right? He wouldn't sell it at home. He'd bring her to the priest. He wouldn't call he wouldn't take her to the Newcastle County Courthouse, right? He would take her to the priest. Go ahead, and then the priest would do what?
He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before Yahweh. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle. The priest shall take and put it up into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before Yahweh and uncover the woman's head and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causeth the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And the priest shall charge her by an oath and say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanliness
Mm-hmm.
with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from this bitter water.
So real quick. So be thou free from this bitter water. Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
That causeth the curse.
It causeth the curse. But also we see she gone aside to uncleanness. Right? So what that lines up with another law. What law is that? The bill of divorce. The bill of divorce, right? Because what was that address at? Deuteronomy, yeah. Where at? You know where it's at? Huh?
I'm not sure exactly.
$24 and 1.
Yeah, you got it?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
It's really 3, right?
24.
Well, you wanna
Yeah, it's
go
probably
fast.
3. I'm
You
putting
ain't
it
going
up.
straight to it? Maybe 3.
I'm gonna look at it. Yeah, it's 1.
Yeah.
I just want 1. So
Yeah.
So it said the uncleanness. Read that one again. These kids mess up my train of thought. Nah, just the verse he just read again. Read that again real quick.
And if the priest shall set the woman before Yahweh and uncover the woman's head and put the offering of a memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering, and the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that caused the curse, and the priest shall charge her by an oath and say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanliness with another instead of thy husband, be thou free from the bitter water that caused the curse.
So if uncleanness with another husband. So that's what it was talking about when it said here in Deuteronomy 24, verse 1, when a man taketh a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes because he had found some uncleanness in her, let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand and send her out of his house. So that wasn't talking about if he just didn't like her, he didn't like the way she cooked his favorite meal, or she can't get the seasoning right, or whatever petty disagreements he could have with his wife. That wasn't the uncleanness. The uncleanness was she was going aside to another man, and that uncleanness going aside to another man could be physical fornication, or it could even be spiritual. And how could it be spiritual? Because it didn't necessarily mean it didn't necessarily mean that you wasn't stuck with a demon just because she ain't laid down with a man. That uncleanness with another man can come more than one way, right? So man, they messing up my thought process. First Wisdom of Solomon, what's the one? Fornication, chapter 14. Verse 12. Somebody read that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them, the corruption of life.
So if she wants to worship idols and you're trying to serve the Most High, would you supposed to stay with her? I just got to suffer it. She bringing in voodoo statues and Christmas trees, and she's praying to Santa Maria, and she just won't stop. But she ain't laid with another man. I gotta suffer it. No, this was fornication too. Matter of fact, when you actually look at the text and you pull it up, that fornication was spiritual was added in. Oh, this is a real old text. Where is that? Verse 14. Oh, wrong page. Here we go. Verse 12. See that? I'll zoom in. So see that this is in the original text of that verse, Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12. So for the beginning what did it say? What did it say? Devising. Yeah, but you got it. The second verse. So devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication. So whenever it's like that in the text, that word was added for understanding by the interpreters. So in the original, what it was translated from, it would read the beginning of fornication. So devising of idols is beginning of fornication. Worshiping of idols is fornication. And we know that's why we was considered whores and harlots to the Most High, because what? We started worshiping idols.
Can you call that?
So when
what year that book is right there?
that's 1611.
Okay.
That's a original print or early print, 1611. So when Yahushua was explaining that, and I'm gonna bring it around to why I even went here to show what the uncleanness is. He was speaking to the Pharisees in Matthew 19 and 9, and he said, I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery, and whoso marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery. So a lot of people take that and say, listen, you got to suffer your wife. She can be a demon. She could be going out and not coming home, and you get that spirit of jealousy, but you don't know that she lay with somebody, or you can't prove it, or she didn't lay with somebody. No matter what, you just got to suffer it because she didn't commit fornication. But fornication isn't solely she had sexual relations with another man. And then their misunderstanding was, is this the one that says for every cause at the beginning? And it came fast. Verse 3. So the Pharisees, they had a misunderstanding. Remember, a lot of our problem is the letter of the law, right? That's why Paul came back and said, if I do the laws or I do all these things and I don't have charity, it profited me nothing, because you can do the laws by the letter and not actually have goodwill towards your brother. But just because it says it, you do it, well, you're still off because you're just following it because it says so, but your heart ain't really in it. Your spirit ain't in it. And you don't actually have faith. That was the problem. So the Pharisees, they had a misunderstanding of the law that we're reading about. Well, the Deuteronomy one. And they said the Pharisees came under him talking about Yahushua, tempting him and saying unto him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? You see that? They felt like anything that you thought wrong with your wife, you found anything wrong with her, that's uncleanness. Now I can give her a bill of divorcement. So that's what this whole thing is talking about. And remember, you, like the Christians say, context. In the verse, this whole questioning that they were doing to Yahushua was to tempt him. They was trying to get him to stumble up in his understanding of the law or even his teaching of the law. That's why they present these hard questions, but he always came back and answered them perfectly. And even with his answers, they sometimes, or even oftentimes, get misunderstood by us, because a lot of people will go and say, see, look, verse number 9, look, Yahushua gave an understanding. You can't divorce your wife unless she has sexual relations with somebody, the end. It's got to be fornication. Fornication can take on many faces. One of them being idolatry. And another one being what we read in what's that one? 25, the bill of divorcement, Sirach 25, it's the last precept of Sirach 25. So a lot of people, they give into the weakness to the women, and then also misteachings of what Yahushua taught us, and they just stick out with these demons that they go out and they're disrespectful and they're disobedient, and you get about 5 spirits of jealousy on you over this woman in 5 days, but she ain't lay with nobody. I can't do nothing, and that's never what it meant. verse 26. Matter of fact, start at 25. Matter of fact, start at 24.
It says Sirach 25.
25 and 24.
No, what chapter?
Sirach 25 and 24.
Okay. Of the woman came, Salaki, the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Through the woman we all die. So think about it. If I'm supposed to not come around people that's in the world and actually really hate God and won't come into the truth, and they want to, they're friends of the world. If I'm supposed to stay away from them, why would I be supposed to keep a woman that's a whole demon in my house just because she ain't had sex with somebody?
Shit.
Like, what sense would that make? Through her, we all died. Through doing what? Through following her, through giving in to her. And if you got a whole demon in your house and you won't put her out and you won't leave her, what's going to end up happening?
The whole house going to become wicked. She's going to be your portion.
And you're going to fold to her every time. And you're going to be the one that, I bought her that dress. I went and chose it out for her. Well, why'd you choose it for her? You mean tell me you want everybody to see your woman's goods? Well, it's coming back to me. She's my trophy.
That's what he said to you. I want to go home to something that look exciting like that. And if you can't get one, then go find one. That's what he said.
It still looked that exciting when it come home, right? Even though it's covered. I mean, once she comes home and nobody else has seen the excitement, you still get to see it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you could have bought that for your wife to wear in the privacy of your home.
Yeah, if you really like it like that, you could actually bought a real one that was just the what's the black part called?
The lingerie.
Yeah, you could.
Lace.
Yeah, like it wouldn't have had to be sewn over the top of flesh like material.
Yeah,
you could have got the real deal. Just bring that out at home. You could have gotten different colors, right? But no, because the woman, because you refuse to let her go, or you can't let her go because, man, I really love that. Oh, I love that box, so I can't let that go.
And they actually got that dress, just let me back on what you're saying, in different colors, because I seen it after the fact. I seen it in red, and I've seen it in purple online. So he didn't have to get it that flesh colored dress. It could have been an actual different colored dress.
But what happened is, through weakness, through being taught this weakness, now you're folding to your wife and you're headed towards death, just like the first. When he folded to Eve, he took counsel of Eve and forgot what the Most High told him to do. So through her, we all died. Go ahead.
Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died. Give the water no passes, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad.
So don't give that wicked woman liberty to gad abroad.
Don't let your rib go on no girls' trips.
Put your foot down.
What happened to as husband and wife going on vacation? Because I remember seeing that. I don't remember no girls' trips back in the day or none of that foolishness. Like you went on vacation together, you was happy to escape with your wife and get away from the kids. You know what I mean? Leaving my grandma's house or something like that, and then be out to Vegas or Florida or something and enjoying yourself. You know what I mean? At the hotel lounge and dancing and stuff with the jazz band and stuff like that. What happened to that?
Like you can't be up. Don't put your foot down when she's up in every man's face. Once she's your woman, ain't no male friends. That's just my friend. But you have to put your foot down. You have to establish the order in your house, and she has to follow it. And she has to follow it. If she refuses to follow it, that's uncleanness in her. Because if she won't follow you, it's because what? Because she's open. That's why. You don't gotta wait for her to lay with somebody. If she's disrespectful to you, if she calls you a man in the house, if she lets you know how you ain't her daddy, She mentally already is laying with Jerome, Jarrell, Pookie, and Ray Ray. And when she does, and when she does step out and lay with somebody, you're not finding out. She's treating you like that because she's already laying with Pookie, Ray Ray, Jarrell, Jerome. She might even be have an OnlyFans, but you don't know about it. So that's because you're not following what the scriptures say. Give the water no passage. Go ahead, verse 26.
Verse 26. If she go not as you would have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go.
And let her go. This wasn't just advice. This was, remember, the beginning of Sirach lets you know all this wisdom is for those who want to live according to the law. That's the prologue of the book of Sirach. So if you want to live according to the law, and this is the type of woman you have, you're going to let her go. If she won't go, she'll have you. That's the uncleanness. Because you're not her head. If you're not her head, then she's already with Jerome, Jarrell, Pookie, and Ray Ray. You're not in bondage when you take on a wife. And Yahushua didn't come to put you in bondage to a demon. So you got a demon at home. You see that uncleanness in her. Let her go. That uncleanness shows when she refuses to obey, to be humble and meek. She calls herself a believer, but she refuses to follow the Bible. And you're not her head. The Bible's not her head. Sirach says something about that too. Sirach 25 and 15. Oh, we're already in 25.
Yeah,
Perfect. Verse 15, drop down.
Verse 15. There is no head above the head of
real quick. 13.
Slakia. Verse 13. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of his love, and faith is the beginning of clinging unto him.
25, 13.
Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman.
Right. He said, give me any wickedness but the wickedness of a wicked woman. Wickedness of a woman. Go ahead.
And any affliction but the affliction from them that hate me, and any revenge but the revenge of enemies. There is no head above the head of a serpent.
There's no head above what?
There is no head above the head of a serpent.
So if you're not your woman's head, she don't listen to her daddy. She keep reminding you that you ain't my daddy. She never listened to her daddy. Nobody can tell me what to do. So you can't tell her what to do. Her daddy can't tell her what to do. You can pull the Bible out at every occasion. She disregards that. The Bible can't tell her what to do. Nobody can tell her what to do. She don't have a head. That means what? She's a what?
She following the serpent.
She is a serpent. There is no head above the head of a serpent. She's the serpent. Did Yahushua come to enslave you to serpents? No, he didn't. So it can't be saying you can't divorce unless a woman lays down. This uncleanness, as we read, is more than just laying with men, but it definitely has to do with stepping out and being unloyal to you. So it's not just any cause, like the Pharisees said. It can't be just because I don't like the way she makes potato salad, or she just can't get the seasoning right on my chicken, or I don't like the way she smells at that time of the month. Whatever you can come up with, you can't put her away from any cause. But when anything is disloyal to you, and she's a serpent in the house, let her go. And when you can't do it, you're giving into weakness, and now you're giving her power above you. And then what? now you in now you in iniquity because you're letting your woman give you rule. Right. So let's go back to Numbers.
The book of Numbers, chapter 5, verse 21.
Read 20.
Verse
20
20.
again.
But if thou hast gone aside for another instead of thy husband, if thou be defiled, and some man have lain with thee beside thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing, and the priest shall say unto the woman, Yahweh make thee a curse and an oath among thy people. When Yahweh doth make thy thigh to rot and thy belly to swell, and this water that causeth the curse shall go into thy bowels to make thy belly to swell and thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen.
And this goes to show the power that the Most High gave to the priests, and how, through their righteousness, through their being, they basically being the mediators between us and Yahweh, they were able to institute this oath that if she be lying, that this curse will come among her. But if she take this concoction and she tell the truth, she'll be fine. That's the power that the Levites had at the time, right? The priests had. Reading this though, it makes me think about another lie that they put out there just to try to tear down the things we believe, one being the Apocrypha, because when they talk about the book of Tobit, they say the book of Tobit that's non-canon because why? Because they say it deals in witchcraft because of what the angel did with the fish and having Tobias pull out the gallbladder and what else? The heart. Either way, then use it to give Tobit his sight back, and also to burn before they sealed their marriage. Sarah and Tobias, I think they burnt the heart for that. But either way, to make the spirit leave. So they'll say that the Tobit ain't no good because it deals in witchcraft.
So when Christ spit on the sand and he rubbed the clay,
right,
to eyes, to restore sight. Did that make that witchcraft?
Did that make that witchcraft? And that's what I'm saying. But that book's canon, right?
Didn't we go over that though?
What's that?
Laws where the priest basically did that. Something similar.
I don't remember, but I mean this one. But were they spit on clay?
Not spit.
No, he's talking about with the ashes.
Yeah, the gall, like the gall and all that. The priests do something similar to that.
I can't remember that. Do you know the address though? I can't remember it off top, but if I believe it because what we reading here, right? Is this witchcraft? This isn't witchcraft. Yahushua using the spit and clay, that's not witchcraft. Speaking of Yahushua, remember he came to the pool of what was it? Gethsemane, right? And what was it? Bethesda, right? And every time the angel would come down once a year, whoever hopped in the water would be cleansed, right? That's not witchcraft. So then the book of Tobit can't be witchcraft just because what the angel did with the fish. We see that throughout the scriptures. So the same thing here. So when we was in our beginning of our kingdom, our nation, and we had the Levites, we had the high priest of Aaron. We could take our woman if we had this spirit of jealousy, and they would examine the women, and they would put this oath on the woman to see if she was doing the things she was suspected of or not, just by drinking this water. So what verse are we at?
Verse 23. And the priest shall write these curses in the book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. He shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that caused the curse, and the water that caused the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand and shall wave the offering before Yahweh and offer it upon the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar. And afterward shall cause the woman to drink the water. And when he had made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled and have done trespass against her husband, that the water shall cause the curse shall enter into her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thighs shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse among her people.
Okay.
And if the woman be not defiled,
hold that. With this law, you can look at, you have the literal, which we're going over, right? But through the endless wisdom of the Most High, there's also deeper meaning in our laws. And in this law, the Most High can be seen as the husband, and Israel, or even yourself, may be the wife. So like our relationship with the Most High as a nation, even as an individual, can mirror this law in the way that he deals with us. So what I mean by that, let's start with Job 11, verse 4-6, because we see that the husband suspects the woman. So the Most High being the husband, us being the woman, right? Suspects the woman of what? Suspects the woman of going off dealing with somebody else. That's the whole issue with the man and the husband. So the Most High, get that to somebody else. Give that to your mom. So the Most High could be the husband, Israel could be the wife, right? So the woman is inspected by the priest and forced into an oath, and she has to drink this water that has a curse if she be guilty. But if she don't be guilty, there's a blessing that follows, and she's good. The Most High treats us the same way. First Job 11, 4-6. You got it? Oh, you okay? Come on. Nah. That's all good. Yeah, 11, 4-6. Come.
Job 11, verse 4. For thou hast said, my doctrine is true. I am clean in thy eyes.
Job ain't in the New Testament.
Verse 5.
Oh, but that Yahweh was speaking and opened his lips against thee.
Verse 6, the point.
And that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom.
The secrets of wisdom. Go ahead.
They are devil to that which
So,
know. Therefore, that Yahweh exact of the less than thy iniquity.
Deserve it. So that's the mercy Yahweh has. But the point being, the secrets of wisdom are double to that which is. So we can go through the law, and that's what we just read, the law, but there's more to it. So now we're going to go into the double. The secrets of wisdom are double to that which is. So the Most High being the husband, us being the wife. Now we're going to go to the book of Philo. This page. Book of Philo. Allegorical Interpretation 3, verse 145 to 159. And
the book of Philo, Allegorical Interpretation, chapter 3, verse 45 to 159. But we ought not to be ignorant that Moses reduplicates the whole of the belly, repudiates the whole of the belly, that is to say, the filling and indulging the belly. And the monks renounces all the other passions. Likewise, the lawgiver giving a lively representation of the whole from the part, starting from a universal example and discussing potentially at least the other points as to which he was silent. The filling of the belly is a most enduring and universal thing, and as it were a foundation of the other passions. At all events, there is not one of them which can find any existence if it's not supported by the belly, on which nature has made everything to depend. On this account, when the goods of the soul have previously been born of Leah and had ended in Judah, that is to say, in confession, Yahweh being about to create also the improvements of the body, prepared Bilhah, the handmaid of Rachel, to bear children on behalf and before her mistress. And the name Bilhah, being interpreted, means deglutition. For he knew that not one of the corporal faculties can exist without imbibing moisture and without the belly. But the belly is predominant over and the ruler of the whole body and the preserver of the corporal mass in the state of existence. And observe the subtle way in which all this is expressed, for you will not find single word used superfluously.
So it's just going into how everything Moses put in the law, the way he writes it, has more than one meaning, right? It's literal, but it's also spiritual. And he's going into the belly. That's also part of the curse of drinking down the water. Go ahead.
Moses indeed takes away the breast, but as for the belly, he does not take that away, but he washes it. Why so? Because the perfectly wise man is able to repudiate and eradicate all the angry passions, making them rise up and abandon anger. But he is unable to cut all out and discard the belly, for nature is compelled to use the necessary meats and drinks, even if a man being content with the scantiest possible supply of necessaries should despise it and purpose to himself to abjure eating them. Let him therefore wash and purify it from all superfluous and unclean preparations, for to be able to do even this is a very sufficient gift from Yahweh to the lover of virtue.
So what that's going into is the Most High, he gives us the gift to be able to what? To deny the flesh. And that's a requirement of, he's not going to take away the belly. We have our belly is there to sustain us. We have to eat, we have to drink, we have all the passions, but they're to be used in the right way, not to exceed. Like, you're supposed to lust after women, but you're not supposed to just lust after running through women. You know, you're not supposed to lust after men. You're supposed to lust after women. That's natural. That's expected. But you're supposed to have control over yourself to not have to get every woman you see. Every woman that's at work or in the gym or at the Wawa that comes through with spandex on and tights on, you're not supposed to just a light switch and you have to get after that and you need to put her on the team. Mark her in your book, knock it down. I need everything I see. But no, the Most High gives to the lovers of virtue the gift to be able to cleanse the belly, meaning to have control over our lusts and desires. Go ahead.
On this account, Moses says with respect to the soul which is suspected on having committed adultery, that if having abandoning right reason, which is man living according to the law, it shall be found to have gone over to passion, which pollutes the soul. It's become swollen in the belly.
So real quick. So I pulled this out to correlate more so with the Most High being the husband and Israel or yourself being the wife. It says that he's suspected of abandoning right reason, which is a man living according to the law. So we're expected as loyal wives to the Most High, being a nation, to do what? To be in accordance with right reason, which is in accordance to the law. But when we're not using right reason, we're suspected of going over to passion, which pollutes the soul. Passion meaning what? Your fleshly lust, giving into the world and the things thereof,
Giving into pleasures.
Giving into pleasures, right? Which pollute the soul. So when that happens, it shall become swollen. Go ahead.
It shall become swollen in the belly, which means it shall have all the pleasures and appetites of the belly unsatisfied and insatiable, and it shall never cease to be greedy through ignorance, but pleasures in boundless numbers shall flow into it, and thus its passion shall be interminable,
which means like unlimited, right? So that's what happens. So when we are found this way, and he does what? We seek after our flesh, eventually he gives us over to that. We seek after the world, he'll eventually let you be in the world. And then once you're in the world, you can never be satisfied. The world is you'll always be chasing after something that you need. And once you attain to it, you'll be chasing more. So that's why I brought up women. You see one and you seek after her for pleasure and not for lawful purposes, to build with, to have children with, to be a household with, but you just seek after women just because they look good, they got the spandex on, the body's tight. Once you accomplish that and you get that woman, you're not you're satisfied with her, but now you find that what? You're still not satisfied. You have to go after the next one. And this goes on and on. The next one, the next one, the next one. The same thing with chasing money. With chasing carnal objects of the world. You need the newest sneakers. Then you get them and you wear them for a month and you want another pair. You get in that pair, you want another. You get the newest Nike Fit comes out. You get that. And then a week later, I need another one. And then the styles are changing. You got all the tight jeans, and now it's back to baggy jeans again. So now you got to chase after that. This world is never going to be, will never fill you up chasing after the things of the world. And that's what it's going into. When you be given to the belly, he'll give you over to the belly, which is unsatisfied, insatiable. And that's how Israel is. We could be in accordance with right reason and have followed the law and not chased after the world, but because we constantly want to follow the world, that's what he did. He eventually gave us into the world. And now we stuck always chasing after more and more and never satisfied. Go ahead. 149.
Yeah. Now I know many people who have fallen into error in respect of the appetites of the belly, that while still devoting themselves to the gratifications, they have again rushed with eagerness to wine and other luxuries, for the appetites of intemperate soul bear no analogy to the mass of the body. But some men, like vessels made to hold a certain measure, desire nothing extravagant, but discard everything that is superfluous. But
so these men, they have control over the flesh, right? Go ahead.
But appetite, on the other hand, is never satisfied, but remains always in what and thirsty.
So even though you have control over your flesh, your appetite, it's never satisfied. So you always got to be in governor of this flesh. Go ahead.
In reference to which the expression that the thighs shall fall away is added in immediate connection with the denunciation that her belly shall swell. For then right reason, which has the seeds and originating principle of good, falls from the soul.
So eventually he just gives you over to your pleasures. So when we drink of this water, and we've been guilty of going off to another, right? Eventually, he gives us to our flesh, and our bellies swell, our thighs fall away. That's right reason falls from the soul. You're right. Eventually, there's no right reason left. You don't have faith. You can't find it. You don't believe in the Most High. You don't believe in following the Most High. You see the world and everything in it, and you believe that this is the way. You believe that the pastors in church, they got the key to getting you into heaven. You believe that the imam, he's going to show you the way to righteousness. You believe that the Most High, he wants you to have everything that you desire. He wants you to have 10 different women in a month. He wants you to have all the money you can get by any ill means. He wants these things. That's what ends up happening. You end up with that reprobate mind because right reason has fell away, right? And falling from the soul. Go ahead.
If therefore, says Moses, she has not been corrupted, then she shall be pure and free from all infliction from generation to generation. That is to say, if she has not been polluted by passion, but has kept herself pure in respect of her legitimate husband, sound reason, her proper guide, she shall have a reproductive and fertile soul.
Right. So pause right there. So then the same with Israel. So when we drink this water and we've been obedient to the wisdom and we haven't been polluted by passions as a nation, right? Then what? The Most High has blessings. But then when we are given to the passions, then what? He has curses. It goes back Deuteronomy 28, 1-15. If you drink down this water and it's sweet and you follow it, or 15-68, if you've been guilty of wanting to be in the world, following other ways, go back into Egypt, right? Not obeying our king, but getting a fleshly king, then you got the curse that comes with the water. You read that up to all virtue? That's how far you read, right?
She shall have a productive and fertile soul bearing.
So Israel, or you yourself, will have a productive and fertile soul. Go ahead.
Bearing the offspring of prudence and justice and all virtue.
And with that comes what? Blessings, right? And then we read that in the verse 28 of Numbers 5. And if the woman be not defiled, but be clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed. So if we be clean, not defiled, then we shall be free and conceive seed, receive the blessings. But if we as Israelites be defiled, what do we receive? Not free. And that's what we're at today. Not free. Still in the land of our captivities, still suffering the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the back end of that chapter. But if we have not been disobedient, and our eyes wasn't for the world, and we had the water was sweet to us, we would be free and conceive seed, conceive the blessings of the Most High. So from there, Ezekiel 2:8-10, just to show this another side of this drinking the water that we drink, that the Most High gives us to drink, that if we be clean, we'll be blessed. But if we be guilty, we'll be cursed. That's the Bible. That's the laws of God.
No, read. Get that.
Ezekiel 2:8-10.
Huh?
Yeah, Ezekiel 2, verse 8-10.
10.
Read.
Ezekiel got it.
But thou son of
Tell me
man,
where you at.
the book of Ezekiel, chapter 2, verse 8-10.
Mm-hmm.
But thou son of man, hear what I said unto
You
thee.
think they can hear you back
Yeah,
there?
you gotta
Be not
Gotta
thou,
read from your gut.
Come on, man.
You gotta read from your gut. Huh?
but thou son of man, hear what say
They
unto
can't
thee.
hear you over there.
But thou son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious, like that rebellious house. Open like thou thy mouth, and eat that I give thee. And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein,
Mm-hmm.
and he spread it before me, and it was written within with fire, and there was written therein lamentations and mournings.
And woe. So in this book that Ezekiel was given to 8, just like the water, that water would come with a curse, lamentations, mourning, woe, or it would come with
Go to the next chapter.
3. Or it would come with being clean and conceiving seed, receiving blessings. Chapter 3, verse 1-3. Same book.
Read it louder, please.
Chapter 3. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to roll to eat that roll. And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee.
Mm-hmm.
Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness.
So Ezekiel ate this roll, and in his mouth it was for sweetness, right? Revelation 10:8-11. So the roll, the water is good. The water is sweet. But with that, that comes with obedience. So with obedience, Israel would drink the water, it would be sweet. With disobedience, Israel would drink that water and it would be a curse. Just like we see with the law of jealousy, that wife would drink the water and be a curse. This wife, Israel, drink the water and it fill the belly and it be disobedience to the word, it'd be a curse. Revelation 10:8-11. It's the last book.
The book of Revelation, chapter 10, verse 18-11.
No, 8-11.
8-11. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel, which stateth upon the sea and upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I went unto the angel and said unto them, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth as sweet as honey.
So it's the same thing. This water, this you that you drink, or this word, this book that you eat, it's the same thing. So it's in his mouth for sweetness, but in his belly for bitter. Because Israel's what? There's blessings for Israel, but Israel's disobedient. So when John took this book, it was in his belly for bitterness. Because why? Because we was obedient as hell. We had put, this is after Christ, we had put our Savior to death. So the angels come to him, give him the book, and he said he ate it, it was sweet, but in his belly it was bitter. Go ahead.
And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings.
Okay, drop that. Go back to Philo. But yeah, so it's once again Israel, and Israel being the wife, the Most High being the husband.
The book of Philo, Allegorical Interpretation, chapter 3, verse 151. Is it then possible for us who are bound up in our bodies to avoid complying with the necessities of the body? And is it possible? How is it possible? But consider the priest recommends him who is led away by his bodily necessities to indulge in nothing beyond what is strictly necessary. In the first place, says he.
So it's impossible to avoid complying with the necessities of the body. Meaning what? You have certain needs that you have to fulfill them. You have to have water. You have to have food. You have to have oxygen. You have to. You need shelter. You need clothing. You know. You need a woman. So you can't reproduce without a woman, right? It's a necessity. It's not impossible. I mean, it's not possible to, like I said, to avoid complying with these necessities. But go ahead, consider the priest.
But consider the priest recommends him who is led away by his bodily necessities to indulge in nothing beyond what is strictly necessary.
Mm-hmm.
In the first place, says
moderation.
In the first place, says he, let there be a place 3 outside of the camp, meaning by the camp virtue, in which the soul is encamped and fortified.
So real quick, so now he's going into, who knows what he's going into now? He's going into the law of Deuteronomy 23:13. He's giving this, now he's flipping to the spiritual meaning of that, right? And he, in that law, if you're not aware, it's the law where it says if you have to relieve yourself to leave the camp, right? To leave the camp and dig a hole and bury your movement, right? So he's putting the camp, that's being virtue. The camp represents virtue, right? Go ahead. In which the soul.
Let there be a place for 3 outside the camp, meaning by the camp virtue is which the soul is encamped and fortified for prudence, and a free indulgence in the necessities of the body cannot abide in the same place.
So your camp, the virtues that you have in you, they can't. It's encamped and fortified. How's it encamped and fortified? The Most High gave us His word. He gave us His laws to live by. His laws to protect our virtue by doing what? By following them. And the reason, because prudence, because prudence and a free prudence is what? Who knows the meaning of prudence real quick?
To be wise in your thinking.
Right, Con.
To have dedication in your thinking. To have dedication in your studies.
Mm-hmm. And also wisdom applied to practice. That's the 1828. That's the first one. Wisdom applied to practice. So not just having wisdom, applying the wisdom. Not being just a hearer of the word, but a doer of the word. The Most High gave us this to encamp and fortify our virtue. So that prudence and free indulgence in the necessities of the body cannot abide in the same place. I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't be in the word. You can't be in Yahushua, but still giving way to all the pleasures of the flesh, like the Christian church teaches, like your Jameses teach. You know, your James of Rose Hill, like he might have you think, right? Yeah, he got a slithering tongue. Pause. Right? He got a nasty tongue, a double forked tongue. He'll sit and debate you with you breaking down how the law matters in the spirit, and if you're in the spirit, you keep the law. And he'll disagree with you. Then he'll say, if you're in the spirit, it'll make you be obedient to that. You won't break the law, but while breaking the law. No, I'm not breaking in the spirit. He's a devil.
You're not breaking the law, but you're not breaking the law. You're breaking the law, but you're not breaking the law of the spirit.
Yeah. Madness. This is the Christian church. And this is the world, right? Prudence and free indulgence, they can't abide in the same place. So remember, the camp is virtue. Keep reading 152.
152. After that, he says, and thou shalt go out there. Why so? Because the soul which is abiding in the companionship with prudence and dwelling in the house of wisdom cannot indulge in any of the delights of the body.
So you're supposed to take your fleshly desires and indulgences, and you're supposed to go relieve yourself of them outside the camp. Meaning what? The camp is virtue. So you're supposed to discard of the things that your vices outside the camp. It's kind of going into the same point with the lepers, putting the lepers outside the camp. It's going into separating yourself from your flesh and those that would influences, those other people that might bring you back into following your vices as opposed to following the spirit of the Most High, following the commandments, the laws of God. You need to relieve yourself of these fleshly desires and cut them off from your flesh is what it's going into. And leave them outside of the camp.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For it is at that time nourished of the diviner food in the sciences, in consequence which it neglects the flesh. Mm-hmm. For when it has gone forth beyond the sacred thresholds of virtue, then it turns to the material substance which is disarranged and oppress the soul. How then am I to deal with them?
So so the material substances meaning what? The carnal things of this world. The carnal desires of this world, the carnal things, the carnal achievements. You know, people lust for status. People lust for power. People lust for recognition. People lust for carnal items. All these things, material substances, they disarrange and they oppress the soul. Right? I don't know what you're doing. But they oppress the soul. So it says, how then am I to deal with them? Go ahead.
It should be a peg, says Moses, upon the girdle, shall be close to you, and thou shalt dig it with it. Mm-hmm. That is to say, reason shall be close to you in the case of passion.
So real quick, in the case of passion, lucky. So the peg, it actually is translated in the KJV. It's the shovel. The shovel you dig with a shovel, but here it says peg. So that shovel that you keep with you to physically, you're about to camp. You don't have bowel movements just around amidst the camp. Like when you go to tabernacles, you don't just go outside your tent and relieve yourself. Anyway, so you go outside the camp for that, and you're supposed to dig a hole and bury it. You don't just go beside a tree and leave it. You really should bury it. Put that into the dirt. Stop. It's letting us know that he gave us a shovel. He gave us a shovel, and that shovel was reason. He said, reason shall be close to you in case of the passion. Real quick, go to Sirach 27:5. But hold that where you at. Somebody give me Sirach 27:5. And real quick, I saw a comment, Brother Paul Wall. It said, it's not I'm on YouTube. It's not always easy being 60 and single. So we're reading about your defenses from the flesh. It's not easy. Yahushua said that we would enter through the kingdom in great tribulation, through great tribulation. So it's not always easy. And Sirach chapter 2 even lets us know when you come to serve the Lord, prepare for temptation. So this walk was never made to be easy, but he's given us this word to be a defense by not just knowing it, by following it, to giving way to the word and wisdom of God as opposed to our own thoughts and our own fleshly desires and beliefs. So Sirach 27:5, somebody bring that up. Yeah, 27:5. And we're going into the shovel we were given to bury our vices and fleshly desires outside of our camp of virtue. He gave us reason. So 27:5.
Book of Sirach.
The book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 5. The furnace proveth the potter's vessel.
So the Most High is the potter. You're the vessel. And the vessel is proven, meaning it's made strong and it's made valuable by what? The furnace. So the furnace, it being not easy, like Brother Paul Wall 38:43 said, it's not easy because you're into this furnace of being proven to be made a strong, sturdy vessel, right for the Most High's use. Go ahead.
The furnace proveth the potter's vessel. So the trial of man is in his reasoning.
So the what?
The furnace proveth the potter's vessels. So the trial of man is in his reasoning.
So the trial of man is in his reasonings. Meaning what? You're going to go through hard things. Times are going to get tough, but that's the trial you was put here for, to see what your action would be and why you would do it. So are you going to give in to your flesh and you're going to take home whatever woman you can, the first thing you can pull? Every woman that looks good, you're going to get at her until you get one to be want you just like you want her, and give you the number and come over or go out and then go back to her house later, and then you get your satisfaction. Then you have post clarity, right? Because why? Because I just couldn't resist. Or is your reason going to be, the scriptures say, if a man find a damsel in the field and lie with her, you should marry her. But it really saying before that, you should go to the woman's father and you should deal with her to get this woman.
Deal with him.
Deal with him to get this woman. No, what am I going to follow? Me just laying with this woman, it's responsibilities of taking her as my woman, not just running through that woman. So am I gonna think about that before I just take her and lay with her, and then she be a demon, and I don't want nothing to do with her? And then now I'm 10 women in, and I'm 10 ex-women in, because I'm running after my lust, and none of these women are trying to live according to the Most High and according to His ways, and we're not compatible. And I got 10 ex-women in the matter of 3 months.
Jesus Christ, 10 ex-women.
Because that's my reasoning. I can't hold my lust. I gotta give in. So I gotta find me a proper woman. And that proper woman, my reasoning is she looks good, and I have to get my loins satisfied. Or is your reasoning, okay, I want a woman, I want her to stay my woman, and I want her to live the life I live. I want her to be obedient to the laws of God. I want her to be what the Bible says a righteous woman is. I want her to be modest in my home. I want her to never, ever think to call me a band. I want her to not be disagreeable all the damn time. Always be so opinionated. Always be in somebody else's lesson, coming back to me, trying to teach me. You know, I think you're breaking this down wrong, my Lord, because Brother Yahya, he said this, he said that. He said the women, they get a say so in the order of the house too. Before you decide, you have to sit down with me, and I have to agree with the direction you want to go. Then I follow. You don't want none of that.
No,
so your
no.
reasoning is going to be what the Bible says: prove a friend. That do I want my woman to be a friend or a demon? Because some will say that ain't talking about your woman; it's talking about your friend. Well, do you want your woman to be a friend or a demon? So your reasoning, you're going to act off your reasoning. So you might not be running through everything that looks good. Instead, you might be trying to get to know her and see if she's worthy of, quote unquote, running up in and then becoming what? My wife.
Your woman will be your
my
best
woman.
friend.
Right. If not, she's going to be a demon.
Yeah, exactly.
She needs to be your best friend. That don't mean you can't have a brother that's the best friend.
No, I don't.
But she needs to be your best friend. Like, she needs to look at you like, my Lord. She needs to treat you the way she would treat Yahushua. Or better, the way you would treat Yahushua. Because a lot of these women would treat Yahushua the same way. Let me see your phone, Lord. Let me see who you've been texting, Jesus. So your reasoning would be to what? Go about things the way the Bible says. Right? So we can go back to Philo. So the Most High, he gives you this spirit of reason. Which digs out. Go ahead and read 68. Well, no. That is to say reason.
68, what are you talking about?
No, Sloggy 153.
Yeah. It shall be a peg, says Moses, upon the girdle, and thou shalt dig it with it. That is to say, reason, which digs out and equips and clothes is properly. For he desires that we be girded up in respect of the passions and not have them about us.
I'm having a malfunction. All right, now I'm back. Let's see. All right, which digs out, Slakia, and equips.
But digs out and equips and clothes it properly. For the desires.
For he desires
that we should be girded up in respect to passions and not to have them about us in a loose and desolate state, on which account at the time of the passage, though that through them which is called the Passover, he enjoins us all to have our loins girded. That is to say, to have our appetites under restraint.
Mm-hmm.
Let the peg, therefore, that is to say, reason, follow the passion, preventing it from becoming dissolute. For in this way, we shall be able to able to content ourselves with only so much as is necessary, and to abstain from what is superfluous.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And in the way,
This way.
and this way, when we are at entertainments and when we are about to come to the enjoyment and use of luxuries that have been prepared for us, let us approach them taking reason with us as a defense armor, and let us not fill ourselves with food beyond all moderation, like cormorants, nor let us
What's a cormorant? Cormorant.
like cormorants.
Cormorant.
Like
It is a.
nor let us
The water raven, a large fowl of pelican kind.
the
A
beak
glutton.
fills up.
That's the animal, but
it made sense too, because the pelican, like they beak fill up. No, that's
okay.
the story. I'm sorry.
It's like a pig of the birds.
A pelican is a water raven. So yeah, but that's the characteristics of the story. So it makes sense though, because number 2 definition. I'm in the 18th. I always try to go to 1828. Because it's closer to the language used when they translated these things, Philo and the KJV. Number 2, a cormorant is a glutton. So glutton. So let us not fill ourselves with food beyond all moderation, like gluttons. And once again, it doesn't just stop at foods. The scriptures say, let all things be done with what? Yeah, but that's right. I'm thinking of moderation. Let all things be done with moderation. So let us not fill ourselves with food beyond all moderation, like gluttons. Go ahead.
Let us not fill ourselves with food beyond all moderation, like cormorants, nor let us situate ourselves with immoderate draughts of strong wine.
So not is once again, we always talk about that. It's not you can't drink wine, but
Don't be drunk.
Yeah, not satiated with immoderate amounts. First off, know your limits and stay within those limits. And we need to understand that our limits isn't as much as we can drink until we pass out or we're in front of the toilet praying. That's not your limit. Like a lot of times, that's what we thought. I can drink you under the table. Like you can't hold your liquor for nothing. I can drink a whole gallon. No, that's not your limits. It's going to tell you your limits. Go ahead.
For reason will bring.
It says, and so strong wine, and so.
Oh. Nor let us satiate ourselves with immoderate draughts of strong wine, and so give way to intoxications, which compels men to act like fools.
That's your limit, is the amount that it once you hit that amount, you act like a fool. Once you hit that amount, you want to argue with everybody. You want to fight with everybody. You want to tell everybody your problems you've had with them for years.
And another thing.
Yeah. You get emotional. And you act like a fool. And you'll get on somebody for eating too much. Nah, we're not supposed to overeat. We're not supposed to overdrink. We're not supposed to over chase after women. over a chase after money, over a chase after positions, all these things. Go ahead.
For reasons will bring them and curb the violence of impetuosity of such a passion. I myself, at all events, know that it was done so with regard to many of the passions. For when I have gone to entertainments where no respect was paid to discipline and to sumptuous banquets, whenever I went without taking reason with me as a guide, I became a slave to the luxuries that lay before me, being under the guidance of masters who could not be tamed, with sights and sounds and temptations
Of temptation.
Slakia, and all other such things, also as work pleasure in a man by the agency of his senses of smell and taste.
And that's the same way with Philo. We've all been there. That's how we know it's true. Because we've all experienced what the outcomes of being satiated with immoderate drinking, immoderate eating, immoderate consuming, too much chasing after our fleshly pleasures. We've all been there. That's how we know it's true. Go ahead.
But when I approach such scenes in the company of reason, I then become a master instead of a slave, and without being subdued myself, win a glorious victory of self-denial and temperance, opposing and contending against all the appetites which subdue the intemperate. Thou shalt be armed, Moses therefore says, with a peg, that is to say, you, by the aid of reason, shall lay bare the nature which each of the separate passions has, eating and drinking and indulging in the pleasures of the belly. You shall distinguish between them, that when you have distinguished, you may know the truth. For then ye shall know that there is no good in any of these things, but only what is necessary and useful. And bringing it over, you shall cover what is indesirous, speaking very appropriately. For come to me, O my soul, bring reason to everything by which all unseemliness of flesh and of passion is concealed and overshadowed and hidden. For all the things which are not in combination with reason are disgraceful, just as those which are done in union with reason or unseemly. Therefore, the man who is devoted to pleasure goes on his belly, but the perfect man washes his whole belly. And he who is only advancing towards perfection washes the things in his belly. But he who was now beginning to be instructed proceeds outdoors when he is intent upon curbing the passions of the belly by bringing reason to work upon the necessities of the belly, and reason is called symbolically a peg.
Symbolically a peg, or a shovel, or a sword, because your reason is in line with the scriptures, and that's your what? That's your sword. Right. So that's all we got on that. We can drop that. Just going into that, we'll finish the law of jealousy. So we went in a little bit extra stuff, but that's how the Most High, he deals with us. So then also, what's the answer? How do we now change and become in tune with the money that wife just put off? By now, we doing what? We using reason to eradicate those things of the quote unquote the belly, the pleasures of the flesh, the lust of the flesh, and putting it off. So when we don't, we are where we're at now, and that's on the Deuteronomy 28:15-68 side of things, because we're drinking the water And because we've been guilty as a nation and people, that water was a curse to us. But it could have been sweet to our stomach, mouth, and stomach. And we had got the blessing. So we'll finish out the law of jealousy and then close out.
The book of Numbers, chapter 5, verse 29. And this is the law of jealousy. When a wife goeth aside to another instead of her husband and is defiled, or when the spirit of jealousy cometh upon him, and he be jealous over the wife, and shall set the woman before Yahweh, and the priest shall execute upon her all this law, then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity.
So, and once again, where's the reverse? Where's the reverse? Somebody give me for those Jezebels out there, somebody give me the book, chapter, verse. Book, chapter, verse, where the spirit of jealousy for the woman over man. I'm waiting. Jeopardy music. Nothing? No. So we'll go ahead and close out. Right. Okay, so there we go. End by giving all praise, glory, and honor Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach outside. This has been the Hebrew Chosen Elect Shabbat class. I hope the class was edifying. And I hope the rest of everybody's Shabbat is good and a blessing. And anything before we close out?
Nah. That's the summit and all that stuff.
We already did all that.
Okay, well,
So Shabbat Shalom. Kwam Yashala.
Kwam Yashala.